Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about a new fund that I recently came across, and it is managed by Neos and is pretty much a ETF that is harvesting the volatility in Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and dive into it here. Look at the fund, look at the holdings, and look to see how it's performed since its inception. So, like we talked about, it's managed by Neos, ticker symbol BTCI. They label it as a Bitcoin high income ETF. I believe they're targeting around 30% yield, but I guess not targeting. That's what they're currently harvesting based upon the volatility, as this can definitely change as volatility changes over time. So it's currently trading $60.48. Year to date, it's up. It's actually down a negative 1.31% from the NAV perspective. We'll look at the total real return, including the dividends. I think it's right around 16% year to date. We'll definitely take a look at that and see that here in a minute. Past year, it is in the green, 22.38%. Past 5 years, it's up 19.74%. So do keep in mind, Google Finance or Google's chart here does not include dividends. So, but regardless, it is nice to see that the NAV is in the green, even after distributing a lot of profit from this fund. So let's go on down to Neos's website. We'll take a look at their website here and go through some information on it. So they pay a monthly payment. The expense ratio is 0.98%. The distribution rate currently is roughly 28.08%. 30-day SEC yield 1.97%. Scrolling down, so the targeted benefits of the strategy of this fund strategy. The fund seeks to distribute monthly income generated from writing call options on Bitcoin future ETFs. It is actively managed by Neos. The fund seeks to offer upside potential via efficient exposure to Bitcoin ETPs. And then lastly, the fund implements a data-driven call option strategy, saving investors the time and potential expenses of trading options themselves. And then the objective of the fund seeks to generate high monthly income with the potential for appreciation based upon exposure to exchange-traded products, ETP, that have direct exposure to Bitcoin. So pretty straightforward, right? So they're, the value in this fund is that you don't have to sell these options yourself. And then also at the scale that they're at, they're going to save on some fees, whereas us retail traders would not kind of get those same types of discounts there. So those are definitely some pros with, considering a fund like this. Yep. So scrolling down, look at the past performance. So this is just strictly NAV. So it actually is not NAV because the NAV is actually dropped year to date. So this must be including dividends. 16.46% year to date. Market performance 17%. So looking at the past distributions, the past several months, looks like it's like the fourth week of the month that they pay their distribution. $1.39, $1.51, $1.25, $1.33, $1.43, and $1.57. So those are all pretty close and pretty consistent. So that's definitely nice to see there. It's projecting a 28.08% distribution rate currently with current market conditions. Okay, so these are the holdings, but let's hop over to this spreadsheet real quick. We'll kind of just go through it this way. So we will clean up some of these columns. So this is as of July 7th. We'll just delete that. And then we obviously know it's BTCI. Okay, here we go. So zoom in a little bit here. So the top position is Treasury bills expiring August of this year. So it looks like they must just have to have some type of cash position in order to leverage that. Their next position This looks like they're just selling 2 calls. So expiring August 15th, 28.50 and 27.20. So it looks like they're just selling naked calls from what I'm seeing. So up to the upside. I'm not sure what the current price of CBTX is, but this is currently what they're selling. They're selling 364 contracts, or futures contracts. I believe that's what this is. But they have 364 at both of these strikes expiring the 15th. And then they also looks like they're doing, so they purchased calls expiring October 17th, 25.40. And then they're selling a put at 25.40 as well. So it looks like they are leveraging some premium and then using some of that premium to purchase this long call option from my understanding of that. And then lastly, 24% of the fund is actually in a Bitcoin based ETF, ticker symbol HODL. It is VanEck Bitcoin ETF. There's several on the market. You got IBIT, FBTC, and several other ones, but this is not sure why, but it looks like this is the one that Neos has decided to use. So you're getting direct exposure via the ETF, and then you're also getting exposure to these future contracts that looks like they're trying to harvest some volatility and premium from this instrument. Okay, so we want to look at the performance. So this is a great website I like to use, totalrealreturns.com. Definitely go check it out. Has some really cool tools to plug in some different investments to compare quickly and look at some data. So year to date, 16.15%. So that is including dividends. So not too bad year to date. Scrolling down a little bit further, let's look at some of the past performance. So since 2024, October 17th of last year, it's up 48.89%. 2024 looks like it did 28%, and then so far this year, 16.15%. Okay, not too bad. And then if we just, compare this to completely different asset class, but it does look like it's actually outperforming just buying, this Bitcoin based ETF. So that's pretty interesting. They've not only harvested, some premium, but they've actually beat out just buying and holding. So that's pretty interesting. I don't think that'll be always the case because, sometimes it's hard to time and sell premium to the upside and be able to time that efficiently every single time. Like selling the upside is definitely difficult long term to successfully do, but definitely short term looks like in different cycles, I feel like you definitely can do that. Overall return, here it is. So this is a bigger jump here since October of last year. Just buying and holding has definitely been superior. 60% compared to 48%. Last year, HODL did 94.45% in returns compared to 28. So big difference there. Okay. Yeah. So that's, high level, a breakdown of the fund. So actually, I take this back. Looking at these returns, the inception date was October 17th. So I'm not sure if this is probably all of 2024 compared to just, a couple months in 2024, October, November, and December. So just kind of keep that in mind. Coming back to the website though. Yeah. So I think we covered pretty much everything. Net assets has 376 million. So it's starting to grow. It's starting to become respectable. I would like to see that get closer to $1 billion. That'd be pretty cool. Not really sure what other competitors there are in this space. Definitely let me know down below some other ETFs that kind of do this similar strategy that I definitely can compare to and kind of compare their performance. Would definitely love to kind of see that. But yeah, high level, definitely think this is a pretty cool fund to check out. Now let's go to X and see see some chatter and some conversation that people are having on this. So I thought this was a pretty interesting strategy Kevin brought up. He said, my plan to 1 million, ultimate crypto combo, Bitcoin plus BTCI, investing $40 a day into Bitcoin, $150 per week into BTCI. He ran a Grok projection, 5 years, 375 to 558K, 10 years, 1.1 million to 2.5 million. High risk, high reward. So this is pretty cool. You know, you're getting growth from Bitcoin, but you're also harvesting some of the premium. I think this is a pretty interesting strategy. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Would you ever consider something like this? Do you think it's too risky? Would love to hear your thoughts. Disclaimer, make sure you're doing research before investing into this particular ETF. Make sure you read the fund prospectus and all the risk with it before ever investing. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Please like and subscribe down below. Cheers.